Hello there. Welcome to a new episode of World of Africa on WION The World is One. I'm Eric Njoka. This week, Togo is spearheading an initiative urging United Nations member states to adopt a more accurate map of Africa, seeking to replace the outdated Mercator projection. This effort underscores the need to address historical cartographic inaccuracies that have perpetuated misconceptions about Africa's size and significance worldwide. The show starts now. As global economic uncertainty deepens with the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, Sub-Saharan Africa is emerging as one of the regions most exposed to the fallout. With rising fuel shortages, inflationary pressures, and renewed financing needs, already the effects are being felt across the region, with fuel shortages spreading and cost of living increasing. Damage to infrastructure in conflict-affected areas has contributed to higher global prices, fueling inflation and slowing development prospects. At the same time, demand for IMF support is rising. Several countries in Sub-Saharan Africa are seeking new programs as they grapple with tightening financial conditions and limited fiscal space. Here is our cover report. Sub-Saharan Africa entered 2026 with its strongest economic momentum in over a decade, before a new global shock abruptly altered the outlook.
The region has weathered crisis after crisis in recent years, but kept reforming and shown tremendous resilience. These gains are definitely worth defending, and the policy choices that are being made now will determine the extent to which these gains are preserved.
According to the report, 2025 marked a year of significant progress across the region. Economic growth reached 4.5%, the fastest pace in more than 10 years, driven by improved external conditions and, crucially, domestic reforms. Countries such as Ethiopia and Nigeria implemented key macroeconomic measures, including exchange rate adjustments, subsidy cuts, and tighter monetary policy, leading to improved fiscal balances, declining inflation, and even sovereign rating upgrades. Inflation fell to a median of 3.4% by the end of 2025, while fiscal deficits narrowed and public debt levels declined.
In the near term, countries must keep inflation expectations anchored and do what they can to protect the most vulnerable through targeted, time-bound support. Fiscal strategies must balance credibility with flexibility. Oil exporters should treat windfall revenues as temporary and rebuild buffers, and oil importers must try and protect priority social and development spending while mobilizing domestic revenue, and there is real room to do so.
The conflict in the Middle East has triggered a new wave of economic strain, pushing up oil, gas, and fertilizer prices, increasing shipping costs and disrupting trade, tourism, and remittances. As a result, the IMF has revised regional growth down to 4.3% for 2026, with inflation expected to rise to around 5%. The impact varies sharply across countries. Despite these mounting pressures, Selassie stressed that African economies have already shown significant resilience. However, sustaining this resilience will require continued effort. In the short term, governments must protect vulnerable populations and maintain essential public spending, particularly in areas such as food security. Over the longer term, rebuilding fiscal buffers and strengthening domestic revenue mobilization will be key. These reforms, Selassie acknowledged, require difficult political choices and broad engagement.
The war in the Middle East is a major new external shock. Oil, gas, and fertilizer prices have surged. Shipping costs have risen. Trade with Gulf partners has been disrupted. Tourism and remittances are being squeezed. Financial conditions have tightened, particularly for fuel importing countries. We have accordingly revised our growth forecast down to 4.3% in 2026, some 0.3 percentage points below our pre-war projection, and are expecting median inflation to rise to around 5% by the end of the year.
As sub-Saharan Africa faces a more uncertain global environment, the IMF's message is clear: the region has made real progress. But the path forward will require sustained reform efforts. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One. Julius Malema, the firebrand leader of South Africa's Radical Economic Freedom Fighters, or EFF, was sentenced to 5 years in jail for firing an assault rifle at a rally, a ruling that could put an end to the populist political career and the party he built. The 45-year-old was charged with several offences after firing the weapon in the air in front of a packed stadium at the EFF's 5th anniversary celebrations in Eastern Cape Province in 2018. When videos of the incident went viral, Malema claimed it was a toy gun loaded with blanks, an argument the court rejected. Malema was released on bail after his lawyers appealed against the sentence, which would disqualify him from serving in Parliament, though a final ruling could take years. Our correspondent Kalden Ongmu has more details.
The EFF leader was convicted of 5 offences, including the unlawful possession of a firearm, discharging it in public, and reckless endangerment, and was given a 5-year sentence. During the trial in Kugompo City, which is the new name for East London, Malema told the court that he had fired the shots in celebration. He has been allowed to appeal against the sentence, but not the initial conviction, and until the entire process is finished, he will not go to prison.
In respect of count 1, you are sentenced to a period of 5 years imprisonment. In respect of count 2, you are sentenced to a period of 2 years imprisonment. In respect of count 3, you are sentenced to 20,000 rand or to undergo 6 months imprisonment. In respect of count 4, you are sentenced to 20,000 rand or to undergo 6 months imprisonment.
Malema's lawyers have said he will appeal against both the conviction and sentence. Malema has vowed to challenge the judgment right up to South Africa's highest court, the Constitutional Court, if necessary.
She has granted us leave for appeal on sentencing and refused to give us leave to appeal on conviction. We must petition the High Court to appeal the guilty verdict and the sentencing itself today, because all they wanted was to have me sleep here for one night.
Since Malema has successfully applied to appeal against his sentence and has vowed to challenge the entire case, he can keep his seat in Parliament and can campaign for his party in the local elections due towards the end of the year. In South Africa, anyone who has been given a prison sentence longer than 12 months without the option of a fine cannot serve as an MP. The Constitution, however, only regards the sentence as final once the appeal process has been exhausted, possibly in several years' time.
They are trying by all means to silence this voice, they will never win.
The 45-year-old leader of the economic freedom fighters is a fierce critic of what he sees as Western imperialism and advocates the nationalization of white-owned land in South Africa to address the legacy of colonialism and the racist system of apartheid. The rhetoric has won him many supporters, especially among South Africa's disenchanted youth. But over the course of his political career, he has offended a wide range of people, from women's rights groups to white farmers and his own political bosses. The EFF, also known locally as the Red Berets, are known for their signature red overalls worn by party leaders in parliament, meant to symbolize their affinity with South Africa's working class. With EFF leader Julius Malema unlikely to serve jail time anytime soon after being granted leave to appeal, a process that could take years, will the ongoing case distract him from leading his party effectively during a crucial election period in which it is already losing voter support? This is Kaldan from Johannesburg, South Africa for WION World is One.
Togo has called for a revision of global cartography standards by advocating for the adoption of a map that more accurately reflects the size of Africa. The campaign aims to replace the outdated Mercator projection, which misrepresents African proportions, with the Equal Earth projection for better global understanding. Critics argue that the Mercator projection, still widely used today, distorts the full and true size of the continents, disproportionately enlarging areas like Greenland and North America, while minimizing regions like Africa and South America. Consequently, this skewed representation has influenced media, education, and policy narratives about Africa's role in the world.
Togo's foreign minister is on a mission. Robert Dussey will ask the United Nations member states to adopt a world map that more accurately reflects the true size of Africa and ditch the 16th century Mercator projection.
In our schools, universities, secondary schools, and everywhere else, the infamous Mercator map is completely removed from our geography textbooks, and that the true map reflecting the actual size of Africa, and I repeat, this is the Equal Earth map, is taught.
Critics say the Mercator projection, which makes Greenland appear as big as Africa when in reality the continent is about 14 times larger, reinforces perceptions of Africa's marginality despite its vast size and population, shaping narratives in media, education, and policy. The African Union has tasked Togo with promoting a Correct the Map campaign to end the use of the Mercator map by governments and international organizations. The campaign, led by advocacy groups Africa No Filter and Speak Up Africa, calls for adoption of the 2018 Equal Earth projection, which tries to reflect countries' true sizes.
We believe that officially there is no reluctance at the United Nations level, but we will see, when the resolution currently being drafted is submitted to the United Nations General Assembly, which countries will support it, which will abstain, and which will vote against it.
Created by cartographer Gerardus Mercator for navigation, the Mercator projection distorts continent sizes, enlarging areas near the poles like North America and Greenland while shrinking Africa and South America. The Mercator projection is still widely used, including by schools and tech companies worldwide. Earlier this year, the AU adopted a resolution promoting the Equal Earth projection and encouraging its 55 member states to move away from the Mercator projection. Dussey said a draft resolution is being prepared, with a vote likely at the next UNGA in September.
From a historical perspective and from a geographical perspective, This struggle is not directed against anyone. It is not directed against any state, nor is it directed against any individual. It is a struggle for humanity. It is a struggle for science.
Les anciens pays colonisateurs ont d'ailleurs tout intérêt.
The UN adopted last month an Africa-led resolution recognizing slavery as the gravest crime against humanity and calling for reparations. All EU countries and Britain abstained, while the United States, Israel and Argentina voted against it. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One.
A Chinese national has been sentenced to a year in prison for attempting to smuggle thousands of live queen garden ants out of Kenya. Recent law enforcement operations in Kenya have uncovered a sophisticated ant smuggling racket involving the illegal export of thousands of live insects to markets in Europe and Asia. This emerging form of biopiracy marks a shift in wildlife trafficking from iconic large mammals like elephants to smaller, ecologically critical species like ants. Here's a report.
A Kenyan court on April 15th ordered a Chinese man to pay a fine of 1 million shillings or $7,746 and gave him a 12-month jail term for trying to smuggle live ants out of the country. The magistrate in the case said a stiff sentence was needed as a deterrent, given a spate of cases in Kenya of ant trafficking. It serves markets such as China, where enthusiasts have paid large sums to maintain ant colonies in large transparent vessels known as formicariums that allow them to study the species' complex social structures and behaviors.
In the court's view that his level of involvement in the alleged offense is so huge, he has, in addition to the 12 months, he has been given another 12 months to serve. That will serve a consecutive.
Chinese national Zhang Kechun was arrested last month at Nairobi's main international airport with more than 2,200 live garden ants in his luggage. Zhang's lawyer said he would appeal against his sentence. He initially pleaded not guilty to charges including dealing in live wildlife species, but later changed his plea to guilty. A Kenyan man, Charles Mwangi, was also charged in the case, accused of supplying the ants to Zhang. Mwangi has pleaded not guilty and is out on bail.
We are both charged with dealing in live wildlife species, contrary to Section 95, Subsection C of the Wildlife Conservation and Management Act, Chapter 376, Laws of Kenya.
They are naturally occurring back in Gilgil, generally in Kenya, East African countries, East and Central African. Those ants are found in plenty, especially during the rainy season. When it rains, they come out. These Kenyans have found a way. They're looking for money. So they saw there is a market, especially in Asian tigers, Asian countries, that is, where it is considered a delicacy, and also some people take it as an aphrodisiac kind of.
Last year, 4 men were fined 1 million shillings each for trying to traffic thousands of ants. Wildlife experts said at the time that the case signaled a shift in biopiracy, from trophies like elephant ivory to lesser-known species. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One.
So I'll begin with a question. How do you guarantee a good turnout at a funeral? Well, this is an interesting story, and I want you to listen carefully. In Kenya, some families are hiring professional mourners to give their loved ones the ultimate send-off. And they're doing that because they don't have money to eke a living. And so If you see strangers attending your funeral, don't question, just grieve with them. Here's a report.
In the lakeside town of Rabwar in Kisumu, mourners are paying their last respects to a loved one. But not all of those crying for the dead are family and friends. Some are complete strangers who have been paid to grieve. Funerals in Western Kenya are deeply rooted in culture, and professional mourners are common in the Luo community. According to Victor Auma, a professional mourner, the gig offers an honest source of income in a country where job opportunities are scarce.
It is difficult to find a job in Kenya. However, we decided to take advantage of funerals since they occur regularly. We thought it would be a great venture that would enable us to earn an income away from crime and idleness.
The hired mourners begin their duties when the body leaves the mortuary. They wail and sing dirges until the body is buried. They operate as a business, and the service can include catering, tents, as well as mourners.
At times, a person has no family but has money, and at least they need somebody or people to come and be with them, stand with them, so that they can give their loved one better send-off. It comes a point where they'll need professional mourners, and that is where we come in.
For Georgina, the niece of the deceased being honored, professional mourners were necessary as her late uncle did not have an immediate family of his own.
In our culture as Luos, we believe that if somebody is dead, if you don't give him a good send-off, his spirit might hover around and maybe haunt some people, like the children or maybe even the family members. So if we give him a good send-off, we believe that the spirit is happy.
A crowded funeral procession is seen as a status symbol in the Luo community. Ahead of the funeral, the paid mourners are briefed about the life of the deceased. For those involved, emotions come easily.
We don't have to be related to the person. We only have to get the feeling that a human being is dead, and then we start crying with the thinking, if it were my relative. That is how it comes, that we can mourn someone who does not have, who we are not related to.
Experts claim there has been a rise in the use of professional mourners, which reflects broader societal changes in Kenya. Back in Rabwar, grief fills the air as the coffin is lowered into the grave. For family and friends, it's a chance to bid a final farewell to their loved one. For others, it's another day at work. Africa Bureau, WION World is One.
Well, there you have it. That is what is creating a buzz in Africa this week. Get in touch with us on YouTube, our website, and on all our social media platforms, and share your story from the continent with us. We would like to hear from you and highlight it to the world. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.
In-depth coverage of global issues broken down into facts, figures, and simple words. Backed with analysis from field experts who truly matter, because we believe in decoding the real picture for you. So you get a much wider and deeper understanding of stories from around the world, a 360-degree analysis. An award-winning documentary series, week after week creating the maximum impact. Watch WION Wide Angle at these times on WION World is One. WION
India's global voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION. World is one.
The stress of our world can take a toll on our physical and emotional health. Here, in New York's Catskill Mountains, lies a luxurious place of healing called WION Wellness Center. The WION Wellness Center provides 500,000 square feet of natural methods to manage diabetes, hypertension, chronic pain, obesity, depression, anxiety, and other conditions. We use the traditions of centuries-old natural science from India, yoga, Ayurveda, acupuncture, and naturopathy in personalized programs that help you take charge of your own health. A minimum 5-day stay is recommended for best results. Book now at yo1.com.
5 states, one powerful voice. From Tamil Nadu to West Bengal. Kerala to Assam. Every vote shapes the future. Get the election pulse only on WION. Where darkness hides behind every corner. Where the truth is stranger than fiction. A show that dives deep into the stories which shock and mystify. Unsolved murders. Psychopaths who defy explanation. International war crimes. And millions swindled in financial fraud. The victims, the accused, and the sinister plot. Prime Crime is your front row seat to darkness.
In this rapidly changing world, is your health keeping pace? Best practices and breakthroughs busting the hype with real insights. The timeless power of yoga and ancient healing. Good food, good mood. Small steps, big impact. Your health matters. Only on WION World is One. Because nothing matters more.
In West Asia, every move shifts the world's balance. Wars, ceasefires, alliances, power never stands still. From Tehran to Tel Aviv, from Damascus to Doha, the West Asia Post cuts through the chaos to reveal the region that shapes